All right, so this video is about Melissa Gorga and Teresa Giudice and why they really stopped being close. And I'm talking way back at the very beginning of time, because this is the story of what happened at that damn bachelorette party that I could not figure out. Remember, I said we now know from Melissa's friend going on Real Andy of Beverly Hills that all of the really close people to Melissa believe that Teresa and her friendship actually ended because of the bachelorette party that she had when she was marrying Joe Gorga. So everyone has heard many stories about the breakdown in the relationship between Teresa and Melissa over the show, but no one really knew this was the main reason. So I'm going to quickly refresh your memory with what Melissa's friend said. That particular part. And then I'm going to prove to you what happened. And then we're going to speculate about it. Yay. Oh, this is going to be so fun. I can't wait.
Why Teresa didn't want to include her in the show with her.
Okay. Talking about that relationship between those two, Melissa and Teresa, why do you think that Teresa has never been able to really connect with Melissa? Like, you have known them for so long.
She was trying to. She was so excited about them getting married. I remember we were all there. They had a little engagement thing at the house right after they got engaged. So she was so excited. She never had a sister. I remember her saying she couldn't wait to have like a sister. She kind of really looked forward to when Melissa, her friends and people would come over. She would kind of get a kick out of us. And she would like laugh at us. And then I think it stemmed from Melissa's bachelorette party, where it stemmed from like the downfall with the two of them. And then it just seemed like they never got along after that.
Let's take our time machine back to 2004 when Melissa got married. Oh my gosh, this is too funny, this filter. Okay, so you guys, now you know that there was this bachelorette party and something really bad happened at it, which actually changed Teresa and Melissa's relationship forever. Up to then, Teresa saw Melissa as her sister and treated her like a sister. Well, now you're gonna find out a little tidbit about what happened at that party that changed it all. And we never knew because they never played it out on camera.
I've been dying for an oyster. Oh my God, we got shots. Oh yeah. Bring it on. 1, 2, cheers.
Melissa gets drunk. She can't handle her alcohol.
Hello, drunk Melissa.
Truth serum. Ready?
Drunk Melissa's good. Oh, I feel like this is my bachelorette party. All right, can I tell the story about your bachelorette party? I told my brother that she was dancing with some guy. Who goes to their brother and says, "Oh, Joey, when we were at the bachelorette party, your wife, she was dancing with a guy the whole time." Well, how were you dancing? So we were like this.
So then she shows that she's dirty dancing and
he was like, he knew how to like
salsa dancing.
So horrible. Why? Because she got in trouble after that?
So then Teresa tells Joe, and Joe flips out. I think he even wanted to call the wedding off from the way this sounds. Listen.
Why? Because she got in trouble after that? Why? Because me and Joe didn't speak for 3 weeks. I used to be a troublemaker. My husband's insanely jealous also. Okay, I don't like to use the word jealous. Joe is very old school and he's big on like respect. That to me is a turn on.
So there you have it. Gold. Gold buried in mountains of bullshit. But there it is. The mystery answered. What happened at the bachelorette party that destroyed Teresa and Melissa forever? Teresa saw Melissa dancing and flirting with a guy the whole night of the bachelorette party. And it disturbed Teresa so much that she had been close to Melissa up to this point, like a sister, and she cut ties with Melissa forever. That's how much it disturbed her. She did not believe that Melissa was being true, obviously, to her brother Joe at her bachelorette party. That's the only thing from an Italian standpoint, believe me, I know, that you would cut ties like that. You felt like it was really inappropriate. So you remember there were a bunch of news stories about Melissa Gorga saying that she's not allowed to go to any girl's bachelorette party after they got married, and he was like dead set against it, not even her best friends. She missed some of her best friend's bachelorette parties. That's not because he's jealous. That's because of this story. Okay? That wasn't some like little ha-ha thing. Like he flipped out. Okay? And Teresa has never trusted Melissa since. And who knows if it went even further than what we're hearing in this little tidbit here, because it was enough, whatever it was, that Teresa called Joe, and she, like I said, was close with Melissa up to this point, excited about them to get married, and then was like, put the brakes on it, Joe. And after that, I think Teresa had it in for Melissa. And the show was just another like nail in that coffin. Yeah. Now, so this is an ancient Bravo blog from this season where this happens. Melissa writes, I was teasing her for being a little troublemaker, meaning Teresa with me and Joe at my bachelorette party. The guy I was dancing with was Arturo Gotti, God rest his soul. And before I knew it, I had cake in my face. Hey, just a bunch of Jersey girls in Florida drinking and having a little fun. So I want to remind you that this season's about cheating, okay? So this season now should have even more meaning to you, because from Teresa's standpoint, there's been warning signs since the bachelorette party with Joe that something bad was happening with her and cheating, okay? And then you go from Melissa's viewpoint and you're like, Teresa's been kind of the whistleblower on Melissa's behavior with men for a long time. And it's a sore spot because it nearly caused Joe not to marry her. Okay, so like added dynamics. Now there's something that you guys haven't seen on the show yet, but it's gonna come up soon. And people are really into the gossip, have known about this for a long time. So it's not really a spoiler alert, but let me tell you. Teresa's daughters supposedly wanted Melissa and Teresa to make up after they have a huge fight this season, okay? Hasn't happened yet. And as a result of that, the daughters invite Melissa to go to the shower of Teresa, Giudice, and Louie Ruelas. Well, when Melissa shows up, Teresa asks the security from Bravo to remove Melissa from the shower because she doesn't want her there that badly. She's so humiliated, Melissa, that she leaves the shower crying and she goes meets Joe Gorga for some food or something to feel better, but she's like destroyed. Also, Veronica, Louie Ruelas' sister, see her in this outfit. You'll know when it comes on the show this season when you see this. She does this huge speech and Teresa starts crying and like, it's all about like being the sister that she never had. I mean, this is, again, tying it back to the Melissa Gorga bachelorette party, right? The drama around that, because they were sisters before then. And now Teresa's replaced her with Louie Ruelas' sister. And that's a theme in this season too. Another cutting storyline for Melissa. So when Melissa talks about the relationship becoming so toxic between her and Teresa, what she's really talking about is every time Teresa brings up any allegation of cheating, it goes back to this core like nerve in Joe and Melissa's relationship that has existed since the beginning they got married, right? Before. And it hits it. Now, that's not to say that I'm necessarily on Teresa's side, because she married Louie Ruelas, not really a step in the right direction, in my opinion, based on more text messages that have come out that show he's been like kind of helping torture his ex-partner's wife. I'm like, what? Like, who does that? Okay, so you guys know in the Patreon that there's a lot of stuff on Louie Ruelas. And what I'm about to show you, I actually didn't even post in the Patreon. It was so bad. But then I noticed that it had been leaked to an influencer on TikTok or Instagram. And so when I saw that, I was like, okay, I feel safe enough now to release these messages because someone else did, okay? But they're pretty dark. The story is that Louie Ruelas and his partner, that is like his childhood buddy that he formed DMS with, both hate their exes, okay? And the partner of DMS, I guess, got married like right as he was getting divorced from his first wife, like simultaneously. So Louie Ruelas' partner, who is the head of DMS, was horrific to his ex-wife. Super horrific. Police report horrific. And anyway, he ends up getting married to a new girl. Louie Ruelas' friend who owns DMS, co-founded it with him. And I guess this creates like a lot of issues between him and his ex-wife and all this stuff, okay, without going into too much detail. Anyway, Louie Ruelas takes it upon himself to attack his partner's ex-wife via text message to like punish her or scare or intimidate her. Now, this is very triggering for me because I had a similar situation with the father of my child. And so it immediately put me into a fearful place because I know what it's like to be someone threatening you like this and actually following through with the threats. And so I immediately was like, I can't post this because it could put her in jeopardy. So I didn't. But it has come out. And I don't blame this influencer for posting this because, the truth has to always come out. I just wasn't the one to do it on this one because of my ex. It hits too close to home. So anyway, I'm going to read you these messages. It's going to really upset you. It's triggering. So he starts off and he says, this is Louie Ruelas. Aw, look at blank and blank. So beautiful. And then there's you psychos who just won't stop. He says psychos because he's trying to also say that about other ex-girlfriends of his that have dropped information about him being an abuser or a narcissist or whatever. Okay, so that's why he uses psychos who just won't stop. You want attention. You and blank, harassing, stealing, and committing fraud. He's showing the engagement ring that his partner bought his new fiance, later wife. Okay, that's the pictures you're seeing. One is from their engagement on the beach, and their other one is the ring, okay, that he gave her. And Louie is essentially reaching out to the ex-wife of his business partner to rub it in her face that this is going on and threaten her and intimidate. He says, you psychos who just won't stop, you want attention that bad, you and blank, harassing blank, stealing money, committing fraud, breaking laws, laugh out loud, you crazies aren't getting away with anything. Yeah, let's bring it all out, you busted. Save your money, get more lawyers. It's all tying back to you and the walls are closing in on you. No one is going to save you from yourself. Thank God the kids have a real woman in their lives now and forever, not the biological mother. Like, wow, okay. Not some psychotic, drug-infused alcoholic who found other men on camera or screwed other men on camera. And it's now rumored that your videos are out there. Laugh out loud. Love Uncle Louie. First of all, why is he calling himself Uncle Louie? It's so weird. Louie goes on to threaten, come for me, I welcome it. And then he says, like, I'm waiting and ready. And I'm going to help direct, I think he says the FBI or something, to all the laws you've broken. And tell people who you really are and get the FBI, or the FBI is going to have a field day with you. I'm using what I know they say, even though they're covered up. Then she says, glad it's getting under your skin and you took the time to write this. Have a great day. And then he wrote, laugh out loud, you do nothing to me, you're going to prison, ha, bye. So Louie is threatening to somehow call the FBI on his ex-partner's wife, but somehow not involve his ex-partner in this FBI whistleblowing he's going to do, and himself, because they are all sort of associates, right? Given the fact that they were all involved with DMS. Now, I understand that his ex-wife's a lawyer, so I am so confused. All I can tell you is that what I really found disturbing was the weaponization of the Justice Department, the reference to himself to a grown woman, Uncle Louie, the threats to a woman using her kids. I mean, this is not a normal thing to write these messages. I don't care. I don't care what anyone says. So I would like Louie to take a moment and introspect on these messages he sent his ex-partner's wife on behalf, I would imagine, of his partner. And I would ask him to see how these are spiritual and life coaching and warrior camp and all this bullshit, and maybe say probably not appropriate to write these to anyone for any reason, actually, especially when it's not your fight. But beyond that, I mean, not appropriate under any circumstances. Namaste, my ass. Forgivity, where? Please, save it. Save it. So, but you know what? This is Teresa's shit now, so she's going to have to, I mean, let's hope New Jersey, you know, being around all the mobsters and stuff helped her, because it sounds like she's going to need it. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. And watch out for those love bubbles. They'll get you every time.